Each panel receives approximately the same number of definitely promote, and do not promote PRFs. In and above the zone records are organized and presented as one group, and below the zone records are presented as a separate group. Members score each record to assess the relative potential of that record. There is no established time limit for board members to evaluate a record. The board stays in session until all records are evaluated fairly and given due consideration. Once a board member determines the relative potential of a record, he or she must award it a numerical rating using the scoring scale, which ranges from a minimum of 6 points to a maximum of 10 points, using half-point increments. All scores are awarded by secret ballot using independent scoring without the benefit of discussion. As board members score, the Secretariat staff continually checks the scores given to any one record to ensure there is not a significant disagreement or split.
I'm one of 6 certified recorders who conducts promotion boards on behalf of the Secretary of the Air Force. As recorders, one of our primary tasks is split resolution. A split is defined as a difference of 2 or more points given to any one record by 2 or more panel members. In this example, Seat 2 gave a 7 and Seat 4 gave a 9. This is a split, and the record will come back out to the panel for discussion and resolution to within 1.5 points. During split resolution, all panel members can discuss the record, but only those involved in the actual split can change their scores. Certified board recorders, such as myself, ensure any information shared remains records-based at all times. After discussion and review of the record, seat number 4 opted to change her score to 8.5 to resolve the split. Totaling up the board score, you see this record received a 38.5 out of a possible 50. This score becomes the individual's board score and is used to place that individual in a relative order of merit for that particular panel.
Determining the order of merit is the key to the selection process. The quota is based on the number of records scored by the panel and is applied to the order of merit. The select, non-select status is determined by counting down from the top of the order of merit, thereby selecting the best qualified for promotion. Once each panel scores their records and the order of merit is established, the board moves into the gray resolution phase of the process.
The gray zone is that area of the order of merit where there are more records than quota. Each panel will contribute records and quota from their gray zone to form the aggregate gray. Additionally, the board president, as part of his or her charge to ensure fairness and equity, conducts his or her own quality review of all records in the score category just below the cut line. The board president may also add any records below the cut line which received a definitely promote, as well as any below the zone, in the zone, and above the zone acquisition corps and or joint duty officers within 2 points of the second cut line into the gray for rescore.
As I mentioned earlier, my most important job is to ensure we follow the Secretary of the Air Force's guidance. We want to ensure every record receives fair and equitable consideration, but I also play a major role during the gray zone resolution process. The gray zone is a little hard to explain. If you group the eligible officers meeting a promotion board on a quality bell curve, obviously there will be a group on one side that are very promotable and will very likely be promoted. There's also a group on the other side of the bell curve that obviously will not get promoted. The group in the middle, the ones that end up in the gray zone, are the records we really focus on to ensure we promote the best qualified officers. My job is to do a quality review of the records that fall into each panel's gray zone. I also review the group of records on the order of merit which fall below each panel's gray zone and make a determination as to whether or not those records are comparable to those in the gray zone. If they are, I can add them to the gray to compete. Those records, along with the records from each panel's gray zone, are rescored by the entire board to determine who among them will be promoted.
The process of resolving the gray will continue until the final board quota is used. This will complete the scoring phase, and once the board members fully qualify the list, the board has a final select, non-select list. Upon board completion, members will sign the board report. Their signature certifies their adherence to all laws and governing directives, and verifies they were not subject to coercion, censure, nor were they party to or aware of any attempt at unauthorized communication. Most importantly, their signature certifies that the officers recommended for promotion are in the opinion of the majority of the members of the board, best qualified and fully qualified to meet the needs of the Air Force.
Because of our system of checks and balances, the oath we take, and the integrity we all espouse to as Air Force officers, we are able to ensure a fair and equitable promotion process. In the end, our core values are solidly entrenched in the promotion board members and the process. There is no more important task than promoting the right people to lead the Air Force into the future. And I can tell you, in my experience, the purity of the promotion board process ensures we accomplish our goal fairly and equitably.
Once the board adjourns, the post-board process begins. The most common question asked of the Selection Board Secretariat is, why does it take so long to see the results of the promotion board? The simple answer is, there's an extensive review process from the board secretariat up to the Deputy Secretary of Defense, who is the approval authority. The Officer Promotion Management Office at AFPC must have the Deputy Secretary of Defense's approval before they can set public release. From the board convening date, it can take anywhere from 2 to 3 months for public release. Add another 45 days past public release for Senate confirmation, and you are very close to the point where the previous year's list is exhausted.
Once the results of a central selection board are released, an officer will have the ability to view his or her as-met record online. If an officer is not selected for promotion, it is highly recommended he or she contact the Officer Promotion Management Office at AFPC to receive non-select counseling. For some officers, errors in the record or missing material which may have impacted their non-selection can be grounds for an appeal, and if approved, the officer will meet the next available special selection board. However, the counselors at the Officer Promotion Management Office can explain this process further. Tried and true, having withstood the test of time, the Air Force prides itself in its fair and equitable promotion process. It does, however, require the eligible officers to be engaged and review their records. Although not every officer will be promoted due to the promotion process's competitive nature and mandated end strength, in the end, the Air Force promotion system promotes the best qualified and fully qualified officers based on the quality of an officer's record and his or her recognized potential.